Jim Peters, along with Steve Hanlon, we're at River Forest High School, where the Ingots will be hosting the North Newton Spartans this week in a Class 2A Sectional 25 semifinal. The Ingots and Spartans on one side. The other side features a familiar face in the Rensselaer Bombers, and, well, familiar face the other side too, but not necessarily a team that was expected to get to the sectional semifinals in the Wheeler Bearcats. This shoe might be a little bit on the other foot this time around as far as Wheeler and Rensselaer are concerned. Wheeler coming in undefeated, obviously, over the humongous win over Andrean, while Rensselaer, you won a high-scoring affair over Bowman Academy. This is a Bombers team that graduated basically its entire team last year, and it had its ups and downs, clearly, as you would anticipate with a team that comes into this round of the playoffs at 5-5.
Well, I think the big thing here is Rensselaer is a very well-coached team. They're very young, and the one thing Dan Klimzak is going to have to fight this week is the big letdown after the big win.
Oh, no doubt.
I've got a hunch that game's going to be a lot of fun, very close, very exciting. You got to go with the team that just beat Andrean.
Right.
But I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I really do. And over here, River Forest at North Newton, River Forest went down there, got the win, got a big one last week. It's been a great season for the Ingots. So if they come out here and play their game, I think they're going to get to their first sectional championship since 2000.
Congratulations to Dan Klimzak. He was named the Colts High School Coach of the Week for that victory, and they'll be on the other side of the bracket this week, preparing for Rensselaer, which has knocked them off the last 2 years, and we'll touch on that one a little bit after our segment with Coach Jeff Bean as the Ingots get ready for North Newton in this week's game.
What are the keys Friday?
As I was telling you earlier, we got to establish our ground game and minimize mistakes. Keep penalties down, keep turnovers down, and can establish our ground game and come out and contain their ground game.
I hope we're gonna do good. We got a win over them when we traveled out there. There was a dogfight. It was a pretty good game, but we came out with the win. Hopefully we can do it again Friday. I'm excited. Yeah, I hope we do good. I hope we play them good. We've been doing good so far. Every win's been a program win. We're just playing together as a team. We came in pretty confident Friday night. We thought it was going to be a difference with Asani Walters playing, but we just played our assignments and just played football, our football.
Class 5A sectional semifinals this week. The Maryville Pirates head on over to Chesterton to face the Trojans, and the other game, Valparaiso, will be taking on Crown Point. I think to a large extent, chalk held last week, and the Maryville Lake Central game was clearly a toss-up, with the Pirates pulling that one out late, establishing themselves as probably the favorite at this point in time. Coming off the win over LC, they get a Chesterton team that they beat a couple weeks ago, 35-21. The Trojans are getting a little healthier. The Trojans have Chris Katz-Ferris back at quarterback and led them to a 28-7 win over Michigan City last week. I think the key with this one, the Trojans are going to have to control the football, keep their offense on the field, and in turn Maryville's offense off the field. And they had a hard time getting stops the last time around. So I think they're going to be able to score a little bit. If they can minimize possessions, they could make it an interesting game. And this is a team that felt like when it was healthy, they were capable of competing with a lot of people.
Well, you saw the first Crown Point Valparaiso game. What do you take away from that going into this next one?
Bizarre stuff. I mean, Valpo blew out to a 21-0 lead, and then just could not do anything offensively in the second half. You went into rope-a-dope there and hung on to win 21-14. Solid job in the second half, just being able to hang on, as Crown Point had just probably half a dozen possessions in Valparaiso territory, if not in Valparaiso the red zone, and just could not complete a pass. And they tried to really take advantage of a size edge on the perimeter there, and Valpo was able to fend them off the the whole time. Looking down at 4A, Sectional 9, what do we have in store this week? I think this may be is this the prelude to the game everybody's anticipating there?
Well, you have a former Panther taking on his alma mater, and Eric Schreiber's Hanlon Wildcats traveling to Griffith. He won't need a road map. He played there and coached there, and that'll be a fun game. There'll be a lot of emotion, and if Hammond is healthy, they're going to go out there and play. They're going to go out there and battle. So and Coach Schreiber knows Griffith's offense as well as Russ Radke. So there'll be some gamesmanship and some Xing and Owen, and it'll be a fun game. I think there'll be a lot of folks there.
We got Morton and East Chicago Central on the other side.
Yeah. Coach Roy Richards taking on the school that fired him 15 years ago or whatever it was, and I know that was a different regime all that time ago, and I know him and Coach Stacy Adams, good friends. So it'll be a fun matchup. Very good athletes on both sides of the ball. I mean, to me, Morton's offensive line and defensive line just a little bit ahead of where East Chicago is, so I'd give the edge there. And and I don't want to. I think I was the only one who picked Hobart to win last Friday.
I think Hillary may have.
Did she really?
Yeah, how about
I missed
that?
Hillary.
Yeah.
Good job, Hillary. I'm going to pat you on the back too. But how about those Hobart Brickies?
Outstanding, great
Sectional 10.
Great win. Bringing back, maybe waking up the echoes a little bit there, just down the road here from River Forest. The Brickies get South Bend, Washington this week.
Yep.
I think this is South Bend, Washington, and Mishawaka figured to be the teams with the best chance of coming out of this one. South Bend, Washington, just with a prolific passing attack, but that's kind of what Hobart faced with Clay last week, and they were able to slow it down well enough. The field will continue to dwindle, obviously, as the attrition of the postseason continues heading into next week.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It's fun, and let's keep going.
Sounds good. We'll see you for week 10. I'm doing my math here. It'll be 12 next week of Friday Night Insight for Jim Peters and for Steve Hanlon. This is Jim Peters. We'll see you then.